Hey guys, and welcome back. Today is going to be my May favorites. I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the products and books and shows that I have been loving throughout the month of May. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had a really great spring or start to your spring, a really great May, and let's just go ahead and get started. I am a sweaty mess right now. It is so hot. Today, I don't know why, but the temperature has been super hot today, and right now my phone says it's 29 degrees Celsius outside right now. I tried to go for an afternoon walk today because I thought it would be better to go around 4:30 than 1 p.m. and it was just so hot. I could barely walk. I was sweating profusely. But yeah, if I'm looking like greasy and hot and sweaty right now, that is why it's 29 degrees. To jump right into my favorites, I'm going to start off with a blush that I've been loving recently. It's from Miniso. It's their Color Me blusher in the shade number 6. I'm wearing it on my cheeks right now. I think I was wearing it in a recent video. It's just such a nice blush shade. I'm really loving it this May, giving my cheeks a very like fresh, youthful look, and I feel like it looks quite cool toned in the pan, but when it's applied to your cheeks it kind of warms up and it's just this beautiful lush rosy tint to your cheeks. I've been really enjoying that blush. And a lipstick that I've been really enjoying is actually from, it's kind of old now I guess, it's from Milani. It's their Bold Matte Color Statement lipstick in the shade I Am Smart. I should have worn this one on my lips today, but I threw on this like dark one from Estate Cosmetics, and I realized I had a lipstick in my favorites that I should have worn instead, but this is the shade I Am Smart. It's kind of a neutral pink shade. It's really easy to wear. I love the way it looks on my skin tone because even when I'm more tanned, it's a nude that still looks good and doesn't wash me out. The formula is good as well. It's not the most comfortable. It is pretty dry, but I really love how matte it is. I like the pigmentation of it, and it's fairly long wearing. It'll get me through at least like one meal before I feel like I need to reapply. It's not transfer proof or anything, but it's still a pretty decent long wearing lipstick. So had to mention that one. I've been really enjoying it lately, and I think I also wore it in a recent video. I am like so sticky right now. I feel gross. So let's talk about some products that I chose for the month of May, which also ended up being favorites. The first one is the Sunrise palette from Focallure. I'm wearing this one on my eyes today. I'm just wearing one shade, well, two technically. I'm wearing Pinwheel Galaxy, which is a shimmery shade, and I'm wearing Chocolate Martini as well. This palette is so perfect for May. I reached for it so often, even though I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup. I ended up grabbing this one whenever I did wear makeup, which wasn't really happening in April. I felt like I just didn't reach for eyeshadow at all, but I happened to grab this palette every time I was actually wearing makeup, and it's perfect for May. I don't know if the colors are really showing on camera, if they're getting kind of like the glare is making them wash out, but it's full of like very mauve, peachy, rosy tones. I feel like I talk about this palette a lot, so I'm not gonna keep shoving it down your guys' throat, but I do really like it, and I ended up really loving it throughout the month of May. And then my base products of the month, the first one I actually finished up. It is the Laneige BB Cream Cushion. This is in the shade 21 Beige. There's not really any product at all left in it, so I'm going to take this out and replace it. I have a replacement cushion somewhere in my collection that I'm going to replace instead. This one's all finished up. This is such a great product. It's very expensive, but I honestly feel like it's worth it. It's so easy to throw in your bag and travel with. Well, not that we're traveling, but it's so easy to throw in your makeup bag if you're staying over somewhere. It's really easy to apply in the morning. I love the little spongy thing it comes with as well, and it's just overall a good product, and I really enjoy it. I feel like it's one of those products that I'm going to end up repurchasing myself because I just really liked it, and I can't find a drugstore alternative for it. And then my other base product of the month that I didn't wear as often, it was the Garnier Skin Active BB Cream. This is their 5-in-1 Miracle Skin Perfector for combo to oily skin, and it is in the shade light medium. Also a really great product. It is super easy to work with, very easy to blend on your skin. It lasts a really decent amount of time, like definitely a full day for me, 10-12 hours. Didn't reach for it as much because I tended to grab the Laneige BB Cream when I wanted to wear something on my skin. It's still a great product, and I would recommend it if you're looking for an affordable drugstore BB cream. All right, and that is all of the makeup products. So before I jump into books, I'm just going to talk about 2 shows that I've been really enjoying throughout the month of May. The first one was Sherlock, which came out a very long time ago. I used to be obsessed with Sherlock. It's the Martin Freeman one and Benedict Cumberbatch. And I remember during my Tumblr days, I would post it on my Tumblr all the time. Like I loved Sherlock so much. And then I realized I never finished it. Like I never watched season 4. So I ended up watching season 4. I felt like this show deserved a better ending, especially since that was like the series finale. I just felt like the first 3 seasons were a lot more exciting, and this last season was more, I don't know, it just felt like an afterthought kind of. But it's still a really good show, and I think Netflix took it off, and that's why I had to like quickly watch it, because it's no longer available on Netflix. Felt very nostalgic watching the season 4, because it just reminded me of my youthful days when I was on Tumblr all the time. And another show that I've been loving a lot, like so much, is The Mandalorian. It's taken me so long to watch The Mandalorian because I kind of boycotted new Star Wars for a bit, because I really hated The Rise of Skywalker, and I just couldn't bring myself to watch any new Star Wars releases after that movie came out, because I was so disappointed in it, and it just kind of ruined a little bit of the Star Wars magic for me. But then I finally took the plunge and started watching Mandalorian. It is so good. I want to rewatch the whole thing. I was just so impressed by it. I loved it. I loved seeing the Star Wars world again. I feel like that's what I was kind of missing since Rise of Skywalker came out. It's nice to see the Star Wars like universe again. I don't know, you just kind of miss it when you haven't watched it in a while, and it just was like good quality Star Wars. It reminded me actually a lot of the quality of Rogue One, which I think is one of the best Star Wars movies. It just had that like raw Star Wars feel to it. Since the originals, I feel like Rogue One and Mandalorian have been top-notch Star Wars content, and it was just really good. I loved the ending. Oh my gosh, the season 2 finale was so good. I lost it. I lost my mind. I was crying by the end. It was just, I don't want to spoil it because I know some people haven't watched it yet, but my God, the finale of season 2 was incredible. Those are the 2 shows that I've been watching in May and really enjoying. I think I'm going to start Schitt's Creek next, and I think I need to start either WandaVision or The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because those are the 2 shows that have been on my list for a while that I haven't watched. If you have any show recommendations for me, let me know. I'm feeling very like into the fantasy, exciting action type shows right now. I think Mandalorian set me off on that. And finally, I want to talk about the books that I read this month. The first one is Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. This was actually so strange. I wasn't expecting it to be so strange, but I kind of really liked it, surprisingly. If you're not really into science fiction, I guess, or I guess like science fiction, I don't know if you would like this. It's not hard to read, but it is kind of strange, and it kind of jumps all over the place, and it's just so bizarre and imaginative that it feels kind of weird to read, I guess. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. Despite all of that like kind of science fiction aspect of it, it is very dark, and it does talk a lot about Dresden and the war. It does get kind of heavy at times, and then when you really think about like the whole PTSD behind it and how that affected the characters in the novel, it gets a little bit heavy. But I did really enjoy it, and I'm glad I read it. It's kind of one of those books that I've wanted to read for a long time, and I wasn't disappointed by it. I also finished Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey, which I really liked. Again, it's kind of a book that's like comedic, but covers some very heavy material as well. It's centered around a mental asylum that existed, I think, in the 1950s or the 1960s, back when there was a huge stigma around mental health, and facilities like that existed that were really, really horrible for the patients. It is told in quite a comical, funny way, but it gets really, really dark and scary, actually, at times. This is actually the book we're reading for our virtual book club, which we'll be probably meeting soon, I think, to talk about it. This was our May book. It's another book that I've wanted to read for a while, and again, just like Slaughterhouse-Five, I wasn't disappointed by it. It's a book that really makes you think. I'm still thinking about it. I finished it about a week ago, but I'm still thinking about it, and I can't stop thinking about it. I don't know. It's a very sad story, I guess. It's good though. I would recommend it. The last book I read was Pachinko by Min Jin Lee, which I really, really loved as well. This was such a good book. It is very long, but it was actually very easy to read. And one of you in the comments had called it smooth reading, and I totally agree. Like, I read it actually very quickly for such a big book. I do really like books that take you through generations of the characters' lives. Basically start from the very beginning, like the birth of the main character, and then you go through all of her years growing up as a Korean in Japan. It's just a side of history that I never learned about. Like, I had no idea what it was like to be living in Japan or Korea during World War II. It's actually really crazy to read about it from the perspective of a Korean living in Japan. It is heartwarming at times and really, really sad at others. I almost felt like it was too sad. Like, there was too many deaths. It made me cry. I remember I got to one part and I just cried because it was just too much. Like, there was just too much pain that these characters were going through, and it was really hard. But overall, I really liked the book. I'm actually reading it for my other book club, and I'm really excited to discuss it. I feel like there's a lot to talk about in this novel. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, Pachinko, I would totally recommend it, especially if you're into like epic novels that span generations and years of these characters' lives. Those are the 3 books that I read this month, and that wraps up my May favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, as always, what you've been loving in the comments below. Thank you, as always, for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, and I'll see you in my next one.